So we are going to have story time. Badger picked out the recipe this time, and we're going to make raspberry marble cake and tell a story time about when we didn't know Badger was a girl. Okay, so I don't know if you guys watched our last video or maybe a couple videos back. We got a mystery box. In the mystery box was a bunch of Pokemon themed stuff, and one of the stuff was a Pokemon cookbook, which Badger has, honestly, you've been obsessed about it. Yeah, she's been obsessed. She likes cooking as much as I do. And so I was like, hey, I want to bake and tell you about the story that we didn't know that you were a girl. And I was like, pick a recipe. And she picked raspberry marble cake. Let's get started. So we need to preheat the oven. Do you know how to preheat the oven?
Yes.
Yes. So it says the next step is to combine the cake flour. Place the raspberry in a blender and puree them. Pour the pureed raspberry through a fine mesh strainer to remove the seeds. Mix the food dye and set aside. Oh no, that's a lot. You ready to do this?
Yeah. So we have the raspberries.
We have the raspberries. We have to grab the blender.
Mom, look, my fingers are bit there. I have a raspberry finger.
Put the flour in this bowl.
You want me to go wash them in the sink?
Yep, right here. So you just rinse them. Good job.
So then we put that on, then we press it, and then
Yeah, you want to do it?
Sure.
Here, I'm going to move this book over here.
Okay.
All right, do
So
you want to press?
press
Yep.
it?
Oh. Yep. I'm going to stop, and then again. Okay, you ready? Go ahead. Good job. So now Mommy is just going to strain it so that we don't have any seeds in our cake.
So that cake grows with seeds cake.
Oh
like
yeah.
Some raspberry marble seed cake.
You want to do this?
Sure, I'll try.
So Mommy's just pushing. Yep. So you ready to hear the story? Okay. So we had your big brother first. You know that, right? He's older than you. Now, Mommy used to hear this thing that if you breastfeed or nurse your baby, that you're less likely to have a baby. That is not true. At least for Mommy. The chances of that happening, of like me not being able, let me just see, me not being able to get pregnant, like I have the same probability nursing or not nursing. And so I did not know that. It was with my first baby, and I just thought it would be a little bit harder or it would take longer, and in my case that's not true. So what ended up happening is
There's so much juice. Maybe we can make a smoothie instead.
no, you can keep straining. So anyways, after I had your brother in September, and about 5 to 6 months after that, I found out that I was pregnant with you.
Ah. But
Mm-hmm.
you didn't know.
I didn't know. So your body shows a bunch of different signs. You remember when I was pregnant with your baby brother?
Mm-hmm.
How Mommy would be sick all the time and tired, right? Well, I started slowly showing signs, but I was just like, no, I just had a baby. So maybe it's just because I just had your big brother. Maybe that's the reason why I was so tired. I ended up, I must have been about 8 weeks along, which is that's pretty late for me to find out, because I've always been able to find out, like I found out with your brother, I was pregnant at 5 weeks. Then with your baby brother, I found out at 5 weeks. I think with your younger sister, I found out when I was like 6 weeks. So I usually find out pretty early on, just because Mommy gets so sick. And so I found out with you a little bit later, and that was just because I just didn't think it was possible. It's like, there's no way. There's a way. We ended up taking a test, and it said it was very faint. And so I was like, Daddy, look at this, look at it. And he's like, I don't think so. I was like, I don't know, it looks pretty, it looks pretty light, but I see it right there with my eyes. And he's like, no. I was like, yes. He was like, no. I was like, okay, fine. So then we had to take another test a couple days later, and that one said, a little bit darker. And Dad's like, I don't know. I'm like, this is not an Etch-a-Sketch. If it's on there, it's on there. It's, you know, it's not gonna go away. And so eventually we ended up getting a super dark line. And I was like, I'm pregnant! I'm pregnant! And we were just sitting there like this. I can't believe it. Okay, you want to put it right here?
Oh, yeah. Now, next step is combine the cake flour, baking soda, and salt in a medium bowl.
Okay. Ready. And for it, we need 2 teaspoons. Let's do the cake flour first. So 2 of these make 1 cup.
So 2 make 1, and then 2 more make 2 cups. Scoop it up, then pour it in. Scoop it up, pour it in.
2 times.
So,
I'm gonna do it one more time and then I'll level it off.
my head's going away the way. Mixing.
Right? So we finally confirmed that I was pregnant with you. And so I had a really tough pregnancy. Mommy has really tough pregnancies. I get really sick. It was just like really hard. But that's okay because Mommy knows what I was signing up for every single time I get pregnant. Because I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna be sick. And so I prepare myself as much as possible. Now I take these out of the fridge beforehand. And I always have room temperature butter, but I forgot. So we're going to soften these. Yep, soften these in the microwave.
Okay.
So we're gonna have to be super careful so we don't let these melt. Because we just want it soft, not melt.
Can you put it in for 10 seconds?
Yeah, we're gonna be putting it in 10 seconds.
Time to etch.
Okay, so now we are going to... Okay, let's bring the bowl and I'll grab the butter and we'll put it in the mixer. The book says we need 2/3 cup. Okay, Bubby, do you want to put in the buttermilk? So we measure 2/3 cups of buttermilk. We'll mix that in. I don't know why, but this batter smells like Easy Bake oven batter. It smells so good. It's probably the cake flour. I know that's what it is. And so now I'm realizing like everything Easy Bake Oven had was like cake flour. So when Mommy was little, I had an Easy Bake Oven. That's what you're talking about. And the Easy Bake Oven, it had like really simple recipes and it already came with everything like measured. I loved it. It was like fun for me. It was fun to make and it was fun to eat.
You can make yourself snacks.
Uh-huh. Can you read the directions and tell me how many eggs I need?
Right here?
Yeah. How many eggs?
4 eggs white.
It is turning red.
Oh, now it's going back to pink.
Blue dress with pink flowers. And it was like a newborn size.
And what happens next?
So, after that, you were not supposed to be born for another 3 weeks. After I bought that blue dress, I didn't think anything of it. Here's number 3. Let's put these in.
I'll give them equal space so they explode.
Hopefully they don't explode.
They look so good. One is like puffy. I like the one right there in the middle.
Excuse me, you want to move back?
So good.
Thank you. Let's see. Let's see if it comes out clean. Mommy does not have a toothpick. Looks like it's going. We need to let it sit down for a few minutes.
And then we're gonna eat it.
This looks so good. Are you excited?
Yeah. White, pink. White, pink.
You did a really good job. You did a really good job.
You did.
Here. You want me to put it over here? These end up looking so good. Okay, let's take one out.
Okay. Can we take this one now?
Huh?
Can we take it?
Here, could we not do that?
Sure.
We're gonna wait, we're gonna be patient. I have to free it from the edges, and then we flip it over. So we don't push like that, because that's not gonna help it.
Okay.
It came out so nicely.
It's so good.
Yeah. So, the doctor was so excited that he came in on his day off to see if you're a girl or boy. So mommy got the Pitocin really early on that day, and by noon, everything was going good. I was ready to dilate to almost a 9 or a 10, and they said it was time to push. So you were probably, you and actually Penguin were probably one of the easiest pushes I've ever had. Penguin was a little bit easier because he was not sunny side up, you were sunny side up, which means sunny side up. Sunny side up means you're looking up. When you're born, you should be looking down that way. So your face should be that way, but you were just like ready to see everybody. He only had to push like 2 or 3 times, and when I pushed, all of a sudden, you were out after like 3 or 4 pushes, and it was the best. This is really good.
I know.
This is really good. After I pushed you out, they put me on, and then I was like, oh, what is the baby? And they're like, it's a girl. And I was so shocked because I thought for sure you were a boy. And I said, there's no way. We only thought I was a boy. We didn't buy anything for a girl. And then after a few minutes, probably like 30 or 40 minutes, I called my dad. And I was like, Dad, you were right. It was a girl. And you know what he said? Oh, I already know. I saw her face in my dream, and I knew it was a girl. You were the only person who doubted. And I was so excited to have a little itty bitty girl like you, because I honestly had no idea. The whole time I thought you were a boy, and you ended up being a girl. And it's probably one of my favorite like feelings of like, that's why mommy doesn't like to find out if you're a girl or boy beforehand. It's because it makes it so much more special the day of, because the whole time I just wanted to make sure that you were healthy and strong, and you ended up being that. And then I found out you were a girl, because the second part, like finding out that you're a girl, was really fun and awesome, but the part that I really cared about was the fact that you were just healthy and strong. And you were healthy and strong and a little itty bitty girl, and my first girl. I remember you were born, and I just, every single time I would look at Drue like, can you believe it? We have a girl. And he'd be like, I can't believe it either. I have a girl. And with every little bit, every like couple hours, Drue, we have a girl. And we're like, I know, we have a girl. And so that's how we thought you were a boy. Because we never find out. So what do you think?
I think that's cool.
That's cool, huh? The story how we thought you were a boy and ended up being a beautiful little girl. What did you think about the cake?
I think it tastes awesome.
Okay, well, I appreciate you helping with me. You did such a good job.
You too.
Well, let mommy make some dinner, and we'll have some of this for dessert. Okay, you want to go upstairs? I'll make some dinner.
Okay.
Alrighty, so that's the story about how we thought Badger was a boy. It's also one of the reasons why we don't have like names for our kiddos, or why we had nicknames. We started the nickname thing way before I started social media. It was just kind of a way for me to connect with the baby instead of calling the baby. We just thought, well, let's give them cute little animal nicknames. Anyways, I'm so glad that you guys could follow along and be a part. I will share the awesome recipe. This was really cute. Like, honestly, if I made some fondant and like made the like little Pokemon symbol, like these are really adorable. These were so good. I honestly feel like it's like the fancier version of the Easy Bake, where it tastes like it gives me some of that nostalgia, but it's way more fancier than that. It's so good. So I'll end up sharing the recipe. Thank you guys for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. Bye.